Hello, this is your captain speaking. On this transatlantic flight, a matter of fact, we're halfway across the Atlantic. We're flying at an altitude of 32,000 feet at a speed of 550 knots. Thank you for tuning in, and you all have a nice trip, and there's a little bit of turbulence ahead. Fasten your seatbelts. Hello, this is the captain back again. There was a little switch on the cockpit panel here I clicked a minute ago, and if you people look out your right side window, you'll see that there's a little bit of smoke coming out of the engine. Maybe I shouldn't have touched that switch. The switch said auxiliary fuel cutoff switch for engine number 4. I don't know. I was sipping my coffee and I decided to flick that switch and see what would happen. Well, seems like the engine cut out on auxiliary, the 4th engine anyway. You can see it out the window there. But you all, we're maintaining altitude pretty good. We're losing a little bit of altitude. We're at 30,000 feet now, and the plane is slowly descending a little bit. Don't let it upset you. Everything's going to be just fine. It's only another 2,000 miles and we'll be in England. We left New York an hour and a half ago. Everything should be just fine. All you passengers, just look out the window and maybe you might want to take a picture of the smoke coming out of the engine number. Anyway, I'll get back to flying the plane. Hello, this is your captain again. I know I came on 5 minutes ago and told you about engine number 4. Well, there was another switch up on the dash of the plane, you know, and up on the panel there, and it said auxiliary fuel cutoff switch engine number 1. I just wanted to see if somehow the engine would start again on the other side of the plane if I flipped that switch, so I'm afraid I flipped it. Well, if you look out your left side window, you'll see that the fire engine over on the far end of the wing is quit too. Now we got 2 engines out, but we still got 2 engines, folks, so we should be okay. We're losing altitude a little bit faster, I'm afraid. This plane's going down some. We're at 27,000 feet now. And anyway, I'll get back to you guys soon. Hello, passengers. I'm afraid we've descended quite a little bit, and our altitude and speed have slowed down a lot in the plane. We're only going 250 knots now, and we're at an altitude of 3,000 feet. You stewardesses and flight attendants, please get all passengers out of their seats and move them into the rear cargo area to the tail section of the plane. I need to get these wings up a little bit somehow, and weight distribution might help a little bit. Move them all in there. Okay, this your captain, out. Hello, this is your captain again. Well, listen, you flight attendants, push them all into the rear of the plane. Everyone, push them all into the rear of the plane. You should be able to get 4 or 5 people in each of the toilets areas. Jam the door shut. Push them in with your foot if you have to. And then lock them all in the rear end of the airplane, because we need to get this weight distribution right. We're still descending. We're at 1,600 feet and descending. I got to get these wings up. I'm afraid we just don't have enough power with just 2 engines. Shove them in. I mean, use your feet to push them in there as tight as you can pack them. And don't worry about it. Everything's going to be fine to flight and crew. Everything's fine. We're just fine. We're just fine. Everything's fine. Hello, this is your captain again. I'm back. Well, we've descended down to 1,000 feet now, and the plane seems to finally have leveled out a little bit. I'll be honest with you guys. I don't know exactly what's going to happen next. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the show. Listen, I'm glad to have you guys here on this Monday, the 31st of August, 2020. You know what? Sounds like that captain of that airplane, he sounds like he should be in there in charge of our governments and everything. Well, he couldn't be any worse than the people that we have in charge. You know, back in 1968, there was a flu epidemic called the Hong Kong flu. And really, I was looking at it, it really parallels the danger, like this flu. It was very similar in the fatality rate and everything else. Went around the world, killed millions of people. The Hong Kong flu did. And in 1968, but you know, the government didn't react the same way they reacted this time. This time they cut off all the fuel switch. It shoved us all into the tail section. What happens next? Well, I don't exactly know. But I'm going to tell you what. It looks like things are coming unglued a little bit. And doesn't look like a really good situation, you know. Do we have somebody at the helm that can straighten things out a little bit? I don't know. We're just going to have to wait and see. But I'm going to take a look at the markets now, and let's get the charts open right here. Take a look at what's going on. We're going to start with the silver price today, which keeps pushing to the upside, you know, slowly but surely. 28.03 today. It's up 56 cents on the day so far. It's at the top side of its range right now. And we're going to take a look at gold. Gold right now is at $1968.40. It's up $4.10. It's up near the top of its range. You know, gold and silver right now have entered into a bull market, but I'm going to tell you guys, with the situation that's going on in the world right now, I don't think people realize it's as bad as what it really is. But it's a barn full of hay. All it would take is a match at this point in time. What that match could be, I don't know, but the whole thing is a barn full of hay. Let's take a look now at cryptocurrencies. And what we're seeing here is $374.5 billion with a Bitcoin dominance of 57.9%. We're seeing a bull market in the cryptocurrencies too. Bitcoin price at $11,733.67. And it's pushing for $12,000. Price is up on all the coins today. It's not just Bitcoin going up. All the coins are going up, and that means a low Bitcoin dominance. And that's a very bullish sign when we see that happen. And I've told you that for the last week or two. And we've seen Bitcoin holding its price, not moving to the higher side, you know. Dow Jones Industrial Average today. It's fell off 230 points. I don't know. I've been expecting a big sell-off, you know, and I've been just watching it and wondering when the start of this is going to be. Today could be the start, or it might be a week from now, or it could be a month from now. But I'm expecting it. A big sell-off. I'm expecting a reaction from the central banks when that sell-off occurs. And it's that reaction that I think is going to push the system over the edge, and people are going to start to really decide to get out of fiat, you know. And they're going to finally realize what Ray Dalio's been saying, cash is trash. But there's not many ways to get out. When you want to get out, when they really panic, and where do you go? You can't go into bonds, there's no yield. You go into any dollar-denominated asset, the stock market's overpriced and everything, you know. Where do you go right now in times like this? Where do you put your money? They'll figure it out. You know, but you could be actually seeing a flood of people when they finally figure it out, moving into the alternative assets to the dollar, which are few, very few ways out. Okay, let's take a look now at crude oil, $43.11, and it seems to be going along sideways right now at this moment. Bonds and rates. This is what yield curve control looks like. See that whole long end of the yield curve? The yield's falling. You know, I think there's only one person that's buying these. By the way, when yields fall, that means they're buying them. Buying treasuries. I think this is what yield curve control looks like. I think they've already started yield curve control, but they're not coming out and saying, hey, we're doing yield curve control. They want to create as much stability as they can out there, and they don't want to announce it too much because investors are starting to get onto them now. Investors are starting to realize, hey, you know what? They're just going to keep printing and printing and printing until this system cracks and everybody tries to get out. Because nobody wants to lose all their money. You know, there's $22 trillion held in accounts in the United States. People, private savings accounts and stuff across the United States. If even a fraction of that money starts to move into alternative assets to the dollar will tank. And the alternative assets are unlimited to how high they can go priced in dollars if the dollar tanks. And the more the dollar tanks, the more people are going to want to get out. You know, this took a long time getting here, but the end of it all might happen really fast. And it might be extremely disruptive. And I'm just going to tell you guys straight up front, if you've got silver, gold, Bitcoin, you might not have an exit strategy into the dollar. No matter how high they go. Bitcoin might go to $1 million and you still might not want to exit. Because the next day, it might be 2 million. Where do you step out if you're in a hyperinflation, if you're stepping out into a hyperinflation? It means you can't get out. It means you're stuck in the alternative asset. But in the end, you might be able to actually spend your alternative assets just like you spent your dollars. Because they might become the money. Ultimately, I mean, this is the death of an empire. This is the death of a fiat currency. This is the death of the petrodollar. You know, that loose peg to oil. The Chinese were working hard, feverishly for years now to try to break the petrodollar apart. You know, and it might be finally starting to succeed. The whole thing might be starting to break apart. What kind of turmoil are we in for if the dollar ceases to become the world reserve currency? I mean, America, I can't say America is going to turn into a banana republic. We're already there. I can't say America is going to become like Venezuela. We're already there. This could become a lot worse. So my comparisons, like comparing America to Venezuela, might not work because it might be a lot worse than that. It could. It has the potential to be worse than that. This is an extremely bad situation. Anyway, let's take a look at the dollar index. 92.12. Well, you know, that airplane thing I gave you at the start of the show about the airplane. If they're halfway across the Atlantic and the water temperature down in the Atlantic is only like 45 degrees, and, you know, there are only 1,000 feet left between them and the water, and they got 2 engines out, and they're all in the back end of the plane, just jammed into the tail cone of the plane, like sardines. They got no control whatsoever. The door's locked behind them. They can't even get out of the bathroom. You know, you got 5 of them jammed in the bathroom. They can't even move. Okay, so they're stuck. That's what the people of the country are like. They're all stuck, jammed. You can't do anything. And what do we got running the ship? Bonzo? Whatever. Anyway, listen, guys. Have a great day, and and try to look on the bright side of things. You know, even though things are starting to come apart a little bit at the seams. Something might come along and rescue us. I don't know from these politicians who, you know, the big troubles hit. Rome was burning. Nero was standing there looking at the flames, and he was playing his fiddle. Well, that was what they did back thousands of years ago. Now we got the same sort of situation happening, and what do? They go on vacation. Okay, listen, we'll catch you guys in the next show, and you guys have a great day, and give me a thumbs up. Bye-bye, fellas. or ladies and gentlemen.